quick. I just met 2 weeks ago with Andrew Brunson's daughter and son-in-law. He has been released from the prison, but now is still in house arrest, still is not allowed to leave Turkey. So we're little steps, baby steps, but we're not there yet, and we're continuing to push the administration to do everything that they possibly can to put pressure on Turkey for his release, but also to make sure that this doesn't happen with other individuals as well.
I'm asking you to only support a farm bill that maintains the Senate provisions that strengthen SNAP. I want my tax dollars to feed my hungry family. Will you be supporting a strong SNAP program?
I'll continue to support a strong SNAP program. We might disagree on what a strong SNAP program looks like. To me, a strong SNAP program is helping people who really have no other options and need the help, with the hope that we're helping them get back where they can be on their feet, or where they can be providing for their own families. Some won't be able to, and that's why we need a SNAP program that absolutely does work, that's there for them. A lot of our frail elderly need these additional tools. I meet with our food banks. We've got phenomenal food banks around this area in Illinois. The Northern Illinois Food Bank is so good. I've had a chance to go there several different times to volunteer, but also to see the work that they do. I've been in other facilities. They've got one in Crystal Lake, not too far from here, but really all over. They're doing good work of making sure that families have access to food, kids have access to food, knowing that if kids are hungry, they're not going to be able to learn. So I want these programs to work, but I also want to encourage people to get back up on their feet, and that is what the House version had was if someone is in a very limited field of certain age, so over, I think it was 25 and below 50 or 55, where they would have to be looking for work or working 20 hours a week. I do think, and I've heard it from people who have been out of work for months after months after months, and the longer you're out of the work, the more difficult it is to get back into the workforce. So I think it is important for us to have programs that are helping people who have no other option, and SNAP does that. I want to make sure it's there for them, but that we're also encouraging people to be looking for work and knowing that part of our confidence and self-value is to work and to be able to be productive. Now again, I know some people will not be able to, and I want to make sure that SNAP works for them. But some people who are able to, who don't have little kids, who aren't anywhere close to retirement age, are able to encourage them to be able to at least start working again, because there's so much opportunity out there. Right now is a perfect time for someone to get back into the workforce, and I want to make sure our programs are encouraging that and helping that.
Would you be willing to support a law that would require members of Congress to fall under the same medical benefit system that the rest of the country are?
Yes.
Absolutely, and we do. This is one of the biggest misinformations out there. I was a part of the Affordable Care Act. We had to be a part of it. The only group that was excluded, and please double check this, was leadership. At the time, the speaker and her staff were excluded from it.
They don't pay the rates.
And I think the speaker now and his staff continues to be under the federal qualified health care, which was a really good program. That was something I was a part of for a while, but we had to get off of that. We had to be a part of the Affordable Care Act, and we were. It was a challenge for us, and I don't say this everywhere, but I'm going to tell you all that our prices went up, our out-of-pocket costs went up. I'm so grateful to have a wife and 4 great kids. But our prices went up pretty significantly. Our deductibles went up significantly.
What are they?
The other challenge.
What are they? What do you pay?
Well, let me tell you. I'll finish telling you what I pay. So our premiums tripled, and our deductibles I think doubled of what we had to pay. So again, grateful that we've got pretty healthy family and things have been going well. But the other challenge that we faced is, since my work is in Washington, D.C., we had to be part of the D.C. exchange, even though my family lives here in Illinois. And so there was an extra complexity where a lot of the doctors for the D.C. exchange obviously are in Washington, D.C. We can't fly our family out there for medical checkups and things like that. So we looked at other options. What we ended up doing, one of the things that was part of the Affordable Care Act, was recognizing that there are certain groups out there that are able to pool together A lot of times it's communities, sometimes it's faith groups that come together. Otherwise, it's just a community of individuals that can pull together. It's nonprofit, and so we ended up looking at many different options. We ended up joining one that's out of Peoria. That's a group of 100,000 families that come together. So I don't have any federal health coverage. I'm not part of the Affordable Care Act. I'm not part of the federal health whatever. I don't get any health benefit for the work I do in Congress. We pay for it all ourselves. What this does is, it was really I think the original idea of insurance, of people pooling together. It's 100,000 families from all over the country who can be part of this if they choose to. And 11 months out of the year, we pay for each other's health bills. So the maximum amount we would pay each month is $500. It's actually about $495 each month is what we pay. We pay for the first $300 out of pocket for our own care. Anything over $300 is we can submit to the other 100,000 families. We pay cash, so when we go into a doctor's office, we say we're cash pay. Almost always the doctors say, well, if I don't have to deal with insurance, I can do it for less. One of our challenges is many doctors don't know what things cost. They're so tied into insurance. All they know is the Blue Cross code for that. They don't know the cost of it. So sometimes it takes a little bit of work. A lot of times we'll shop around. We'll call several different places if we need to have a test, if we're going to have something done, and we can get it done that way. And then 11 months out of the year, literally we get notified once a month of a family, an address. We write a check directly to them, $495, send it to them. They use that to pay their medical bills. There's never been a situation where someone's bills haven't been paid. Once a month, we pay $495 to the nonprofit for their functioning. They have no TV advertising. They have no multi-million-dollar CEOs that are running this. To me, it's this idea of what insurance was meant to be, of communities coming together and saying, you know, there's 1,000 of us, or 10,000 of us, or 100,000 of us. We know a certain number of us are going to get sick. We don't know which ones, but let's come together and make sure we take care of each other. It's worked great for us. It's not an answer for everybody, but it's there. It fits under, with the Affordable Care Act, it qualifies as health insurance so that you don't get the penalty that was part of the individual mandate.
So that's not all of Congress. That's not all of Congress.
That's just us. So all of Congress is a part of the Affordable Care Act, except Nancy Pelosi's staff when it was passed. All of her staff was part of the federal qualified health plan. If there are certain situations,
She's leadership.
say it again.
She's in the ACA now.
I don't think so. I mean, you could ask her, but I'm pretty sure she's still in leadership, so I don't think she is. But you should ask her. I am not. I could not be part of the federal health plan. They would not let me. I had to get out of that. We went on the Affordable Care Act for about a year and a half, and then we left that to do this other nonprofit.
Just your family. Just your family.
Just my family. I get no health benefit from the federal government.
Here we go. If you could wave your magic wand, what 5 things would you put in the immigration reform bill?
Well, I think it is solving DACA, the Dreamers. These are people who are brought here with no choice of their own, brought here by somebody else, usually a parent, usually a loved one, making sure that they can stay, that there's no threat for them being deported, that they can work and pursue their dreams, and ultimately that they can become citizens of this country. I think the other thing that we need